Hello, and welcome to another episode of the It's Just a Hill Cycling Podcast. I am your host, Jon Stenning. Today, we are amateurs talking pros. Once again, joined with us today.
Are you gonna
that was poor wording.
Are you going to introduce me?
Yes, we have here
Yeah.
my podcasting partner in crime,
Yeah.
Brian St. Pierre,
Yes.
a.k.a. BSP.
Yeah, please
Hello.
call me BSP.
Thank you for joining me.
Please call me BSP. I only want people to call me BSP.
Okay, BSP. Thanks for joining me.
No problem. So how long does this charade last? Because I'm not sure how long I can keep it up.
I'm about out.
Okay. So that was your idea. Fun idea. I'm glad that you did it. I wrote the intro and it was before I knew whether or not I was going to do the intro like with the person I was with or like if I was just going to do it by myself. So like your name isn't here. So you even did a little bit of improv and introduced me, aka yourself, BSP.
Yeah, you introduced you, me.
Right. But it's not written down here. You had to go off the cuff a little bit and that was great. Good job.
I went off the cuff. It was,
Good job.
It's like really in there.
Yeah. You listen to it probably more than most people because you do the editing for the show.
I hope so. If someone listens to that more than I do,
Right.
we got a super fan.
Yeah.
Which wouldn't be a bad thing, I guess.
No, it wouldn't be a bad thing. But if someone hears that it is very much like a thing that I do. Hello and welcome to it.
Yes, you do it the same every time. It's really locked in for you.
Yeah.
Which is good. I like that.
Yeah, you got some things. Consistency is good in podcasts.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is a podcast. The It's Just a Hill Cycling Podcast. Thanks for coming, Brian. We're amateurs talking pros.
We already said all this.
The first stage race of the 2024 road cycling season, it has happened, the Tour Down Under. We're going to talk about that a little bit, the end of the cyclocross season, and just like the general couple of current events. So you want to start with current events? Is that okay with you?
Yeah, sure.
So like I said, cyclocross is coming to a close. Wout finally got a win. It seems like Van der Poel had been cleaning up all of these races, and Wout got a win in Benidorm, which is just this past weekend, not to date the podcast too much, but something more exciting happened was his saddle went flying off and he finished the race without a saddle. Did you watch that? Did you see Van der Poel crash too?
Yeah, I saw him getting up from the crash. I didn't see any footage of the actual
I realized the link that I sent you was really long.
I watched well, I think that was actually part one of like two parts for that video, and I did actually watch them both. Oh, okay. Which I think might have been the whole race since it's only about an hour, just under an hour. So I did actually watch it. Yeah. It was a very enjoyable one, for sure.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun, and the saddle I thought was like great, and I love to see Van der Poel crash. Not to make it about that. No one he didn't get hurt. He got right back on, and he chased back a lot.
Yeah.
But Wout was like in second for a long time. It was a fun race to watch.
Oh, Van der Poel said in his interview afterwards something about like hitting a pole or something that he thought was going to be softer than it was, and it just like knocked him down. So I don't know if there was like truly a crash.
That's what he said when he hit that 13-year-old girl too.
Yeah,
it's like, oh, sorry, I thought that it was going to be softer. It was like just really weird and inappropriate that you would say that.
Yeah, he was told it wasn't on camera, so then he was like, here's a quick story.
Right.
Yeah, it wasn't. I didn't crash.
I guess I should make sure that this is like in the podcast subcategories listed as comedy, because then you can just say that all the bad shit I say about Van der Poel is just parody. And it's not like defamation of character.
Yeah.
Right? Because that's how you get away with it.
Yeah, that's a really good idea. So you have to like change the category in Apple?
Yeah,
or
probably
whatever.
Should. Yeah, Apple. Or the RSS feed, the subcategory. Okay.
Yeah, but the saddle though.
Yeah, it went flying off.
Man.
He like kicked it.
Yeah, it was like he messed up his remount on that last lap.
Yeah.
And I think what happened probably was when the bike came down, that was when it broke.
Yes.
And then when his actual remount the second time
caught it,
he like essentially
like
kicked
broke
it
the
off.
Rails off.
Broke it, yeah. But it seemed like it broke at the rails.
Yeah.
It broke before, but it broke at the rails. So because he did sit back down again.
He did sit back down.
And like stayed sitting.
Yes.
After, you have to assume he realized it was broken.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he definitely knew his bike felt differently. Yeah.
Regardless of the height difference. But I'm thinking there must have been like sharp rail.
Yeah, so like at the very end of the race, you can sort of see it because he like sits up a little bit, and it just looks like a seat post without the rails on it. I didn't see any parts of the rails.
Oh, you didn't see any parts?
No, I just saw like the ears that are.
Yeah, because I'm picturing like rail shards.
You ever have something like that happen to you? Like the saddle slips down, or you lose your saddle middle of a ride. I have 2 stories like that, sort of within the past year.
I don't have any good stories about saddle, but I have a handlebar jamming down.
Oh, how did that happen?
Well, do you want to tell your stories first?
No, I just asked you.
I was riding through Roger Williams Park on my first road bike, which was like a heavy steel frame thing, and there's like a lot of speed bumps. Going through that park. Yeah. I was like jumping all the speed bumps, just like bunny hopping.
Very sick.
Not like trying to bunny hop over them, but like using them as leverage to get a higher bunny hop.
Sounds cool.
And on one of the landings, my handlebars jammed all the way down, and it was with it was me and Nate. And luckily, I had a multi-tool on me, and I brought him back up. But
that's good.
Yeah.
Recently on a planned long gravel day, my saddle I was on my gravel bike. I sat on the back of it, and all of a sudden it went like that. And it's a cone saddle. Fuck, it's a cone saddle. It's just like a lightweight. It's like a fucking weight weenie carbon seat post, and so it has like less pieces, and so basically they get so wedged that they're really hard to adjust the tilt. So I must have like not tightened it enough, and when my ass hit it on a bump on a gravel ride, it like went up. And then I went to take it apart, and only once one cone would come out, the other cone would not, because it's like wedged in there, and you have to like knock it out with like a rubber mallet and stuff. And I was in the middle of the woods, and so I rode with it like I put the saddle back on and rode with it like that for maybe like 3 or 4, maybe like 7 miles. And my lovely wife came and picked me up. Yeah.
So it was like not
it was not fun to
enough
ride
to
on.
ride
It was very like my glutes were engaged way too much. It wasn't, everyone is so quick to make the joke that it's like going to go up your ass. Oh, very funny.
No, it wasn't.
No, people made that joke to me when I posted it online. And I saw plenty of jokes like that about Wout.
Yeah, well,
on the internet.
That's a different situation, I guess.
Yeah, but no, people made the joke to me when I posted online.
Because your seat actually, did your saddle actually come all the way off? Or it just jammed up?
No, it just jammed up.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Up. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, but still, it's tilted up like this, and so there are.
But I can see that because you're kind of having to be like further back.
Yeah,
and
it was
then
really
it's changing the way your muscles were.
It really was weird.
Was
I didn't care for it. I was like probably still had another hour and a half to go on a tough gravel ride, and I was like, I'm not trying to do that.
Not gonna do that.
But then, about 11 months ago, I was down in Florida with my dad, and I borrowed one of his friend's bikes, and it was a really nice, Pinarello. It was a very nice bike to ride. The saddle slipped on me with about 3 miles to go, and it had previously seized. I was having trouble moving it, and then when it moved, I didn't have the right Allen key to tighten it back up, so I had to ride back. I just rode standing up for 3 miles. This sounds like I'm bragging now. I guess I am. I'm strong.
You are strong.
Thanks, but that's not why I'm saying.
You could have done 4 miles.
Thank you. I could have done 4. Thank you so much. But that was I guess it was more. I was going to go ride that bike the next day for 100 miles on a Gran Fondo with my dad, and I was like, oh no, but luckily we took it apart and we greased it properly and then put it back in, and it worked for me. And it was a very nice bike to ride on that day, even though it was a little bit creaky. But yeah, it's okay. It was a nice bike. All right. Oh yeah, cyclocross season's coming to a close though. That's what we were talking about. Cyclocross.
That's where we were at.
Worlds is on February 3rd and 4th, and the local organization 1PVD Cycling is hosting an event to watch both the men's and the women's race at Fuller Speed Shop in Providence, Rhode Island. And so we'll put the Facebook event link in the video description below. That's February 3rd and 4th, the year of our Lord, 2024. American cycling legend Joe Dombrowski is retiring. Did you know that?
I knew it because you shared the article with me.
Wow, thanks.
But I did not know it leading up to it.
This came out very recently. I want to say within the last 24 to 48 hours
of
us sitting and doing this. But yeah. He didn't find a contract for this year. He was under contract last year, I think, with Astana, and he also rode for Cannondale and UAE and Team Sky. And but yeah, he's retiring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What did it say? 14 Grand Tours under his belt?
Yeah, 4 professional wins, a stage of the Giro, stage of the 2019 Tour of Utah, rest in peace Tour of Utah, and victory at Tour of Utah in 2015. Man, what Tour of Utah and Amgen Tour of California, those used to be a thing.
I wish I was following this when they were
like a decade ago.
That would have
right?
been amazing.
Yeah, to go to Utah. Man, that'd be like an actual excuse to go and ride our bikes out there. We're gonna go see the Tour of Utah.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that aspect. We could just go.
I
was just thinking about the coolness factor of like being able to watch an American, race like that. Because there's not that many happening.
No. I mean, there's one big North American thing like that Montreal Crits, the Grand Prix or whatever the hell they call it. But,
well, there's that Maryland thing.
Oh, yeah, the Maryland Cycling Classic.
Yeah, the Classic, yeah.
And they're trying to make a bigger race around the New York Grand Fondo. Like a New York world. It's like a 2-1 race, not quite World Pro.
Really? Around New York?
Yeah, New York. And it's going to be around the time of the Grand Fondo New York, which is like a big, like amateur event.
Yeah.
That I want to say like thousands upon thousands of people participate in.
Yeah.
And so it's a big cycling weekend in that area, and they're going to make like I think a 3 or 4 day stage race.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be really cool.
Yeah.
That'd be beautiful.
Beautiful. Julian Alaphilippe calls into question his Soudal Quickstep future and possible retirement. He might be retiring soon. He's had a couple of down seasons. He did you see him? Oh, we're going to talk about the Tour Down Under, but did you see him like go early?
Yes.
He went early. He like went for KOM points, not for the win.
Yeah,
really
and then
strange.
The commentator said maybe he thought it was maybe he went for the wrong line or something.
But
or
that's
he
the second lap they did of Wollonga Hill that day.
That was second already?
Yeah.
Second out of 3 for that day?
No, I think they just did it twice, but
just twice?
Yeah. But still, he had already done a circuit on it. Yeah, strange.
So maybe he just went too early, something blew up.
Yeah,
I did see that.
His contract is up at the end of this year, so we'll see. I don't know. I don't want to see him retire yet.
Yeah, I was going to ask, how do you feel about that? You like Alaphilippe?
Yeah, I love him. I don't want to see him retire yet. I especially don't want him to see him like flame out like this. He had a bad crash a couple years ago.
Yeah.
And he hasn't like quite gotten the wins, I think. But I don't know. COVID cycling has also been strange with guys getting sick and like not coming back in the same form. So I don't know. I just like don't like. I didn't like the way like Sagan retired. Like very dud of a season. It just seems. I don't know. I don't necessarily think you need a red carpet, but it's fun when it's like fun. Like Pinot was pretty fun.
Pinot was great.
Pinot,
Yeah.
He had some great tour stages and stuff.
Yeah.
SD Works, the women's team. Now, I think a lot of people talk about Visma Lisa Bike being like a dominant team. There are other super teams on the men's side, but like SD Works has the best GC rider, the best classics rider, and the best sprinter in Demi Vollering, Lotte Kopecky, and Lorena Vibas. Is that like too strong? Or does it matter? Like, is it worth arguing? I don't know. Like,
I don't know. I hate to say it, but I'm not super in touch with women's racing right now. I know about SD Works and how dominant they've been. Especially last season.
Yeah. I even think they did well at the Tour Down Under. Is that right? No, AJ.
I don't know actually because I did not
about
manage to watch women's Tour Down Under.
Yeah, I'll give you the lowdown on it.
Yeah,
but yeah, SD Works is like a super dominant team. And then did you hear about this story about Jonas at the fish factory? Did you see this?
I did not.
Yeah. So
I want to know more about it.
So like the story, and like I think I saw this on Twitter. So take it with a grain of salt.
This is where you initially saw it.
Correct. Okay. Correct. But then it linked me to an article somewhere. And everyone knows that Jonas like worked at a fish market, and I think a lot of people like to think that he was like discovered while he was working at a fish market, because like he has like this freakish VO2 max or something. But it turns out that Jumbo, who like Visma Lab, Jumbo like got him a job at this fish factory to like introduce some sort of like structure to his life.
Yeah, because
he had a freak VO2 max, but he was lazy. And he would just like sleep in and like skip training because like he was very naturally talented.
Yeah.
So they were like, we need to get you a job for like 2.5, 3 years so you could just like know what it's like to like wake up and like have something to do and be productive.
Wow.
Which is like honestly amazing.
He's like he's like some really smart student.
Yeah.
That just like won't do his homework or their homework because they just don't care.
Right.
But then they answer all the questions in class, and everyone's like, "What? How are you doing that? Right. How are you being all up the mountain here?"
I don't think we know what his VO2 max is, but it's like high 70s. My watch tells me mine is 55.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I can't remember what my highest rating was at what point, but... What'd you say, 55?
Yeah, it's just a number.
I don't think I
don't really even know what VO2 max means.
Relatively personal. Like, as far as like genetic... Like not anybody can just get it as high as a pro cyclist.
I had it as high as 58 at one point.
Yeah.
But I don't know. My training's been slacking.
I don't even remember if I even got to the 50s at all. Anyway.
Yeah. Okay. And so that's it for this week in cycling. There's like a news flash thing.
Well, I need to see the articles for myself to believe it, because it's like that seems far-fetched to me. But I suppose anything is possible.
Yeah. I mean, I mean, maybe I can go and find it. It would definitely, like, the way that Twitter works is I'm never going to see the same link again. So I should have just copied it, but I didn't even copy it. I just wrote these notes from memory because I just was so floored by it, But I don't think it was fan fiction. I think it was like, some Dutch. Where's he from?
Sweden? No, sorry, Denmark.
Denmark, yeah.
Yeah. If that's fan fiction, that is some lame, nerdy fan fiction. Sorry. I guess if you're talking fan fiction, you're already in the realm of nerds. Yeah.
Yeah. What's like the coolest fan fiction? Not cycling.
Something regarding space.
Oh my God. You love space. We were talking about space a lot before we started recording. Brian's infatuated with space.
What is the coolest fan fiction?
Star Wars? No. I can't get started on Star Wars.
I don't know.
Let's talk about the Tour Down Under. The women's TDU. Let's start with the women's TDU.
Yeah, tell me about it.
It happened a few days before. Unfortunately, it's less stages than the men's, but it happened leading up to the men's race. It was 3 stages. This was the 10th edition of it. 16 teams took place. The first stage was very standard. A sprint finish. Ali Wollaston, which I think might be the most Australian female name I've ever heard. Ali Wollaston sounds so Australian. From AG Sudal, she won very standard sprint finish. Stage 2, Cecily Uttrup Ludwig, who's like a sort of a puncher, not a true climber, but someone that can attack. And she looked really strong and finished really well. And I think did that put her into the orange jersey, the ochre jersey? It might have. But then Sarah Gigante, who this was on Wollonga Hill, the aforementioned Wollonga Hill that Alaphilippe went to early.
Now you're talking about stage 3?
Yeah, stage 3.
How did stage 2 finish? What was the ending on that?
It was like a couple of punchy.
Okay.
Yeah, but not an actual climb. But I think it went up and it rolled and it kicked up again towards the end.
Was she
off the front?
Was it a sprint at all?
It was a group.
Was it a group?
Yeah. But I think she sort of went off with maybe half a kilometer to go, and put some distance in. But the group was there when she won.
Gotcha.
Yeah, she wasn't alone.
And the ochre jersey, is that the overall race leader?
Yeah,
jersey?
it's like a deep orange, and it's some, I don't know, OCHRE, ochre is the name of the color. Yeah. And then Wollonga Hill is what stage 3 ends on. This is the big climb of the race. And Cicely tried to hold on, but she with 500 meters to go or something, she just could not. And Sarah Gigante, who has she has the fastest time on Wollonga Hill, period. She absolutely crushed this stage. And is it Gigante or Gigante? I heard 2 different things.
I have no idea.
That's one of the notes I put down here. Yeah, but I don't really know. Gigante or Gigante. I've been saying Gigante, I guess. So there's a hill climb event the next day, as just part of the TDU. Oh, so Sarah Gigante ends up winning.
Okay.
She wins the stage and then wins GC, which is a great
GC
start for a season.
Day.
Yeah, exactly. Because honestly, I think that's good because maybe that means some competition for Demi Vollering or this SD Works team. Also, Ninka Vinka, which I just think is a great name. It's really worth just saying her name. She's 19 years old. She got second on Wollonga Hill and in the general classification.
Wow.
So there were, just an early race to see all these new kits and fun new faces. And so the next day there's a hill climb event and Gigante wins it and she set a new record on the hill. Yeah. So it's just the hill instead of a lead up race into it. But right. It was a TT and she has the fastest record. She beat, there was some
faster than men?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And was that just for the pros that were competing in the Tour Down Under?
No, there was like open ex-pros were there, public were there too. Wow. It was just like a hill climb event.
Cool.
Yeah, just like part of the whole.
Yeah.
The interesting thing about the Tour Down Under, I think I just like stumbled over 2 or 3 of those words. The interesting thing about the Tour Down Under, I think, is it is based around Adelaide. And so all stages start close by and end close by to Adelaide. So there aren't big transfers. So there's like this whole bike festival that goes on for like the 2 weeks, because it's not traveling like the Tour. Because, you know, like the Tour, the Giro will go, the Vuelta go to all these different towns. This is all like based in Adelaide, which I think is pretty neat.
That's really neat.
Yeah.
Imagine that. And like,
right. Just like a festival.
Being able to go there, a big festival, everything's sort of within driving distance.
Yeah,
all the
ride your bike around.
Business that it drums up.
Right. So the men's TDU follows that up. There's 17 World Tour teams. Excuse me. One UCI Pro team. No, one UCI Pro team and one national team, the Australian team. There were no former winners at this year's Tour Down Under, and 1999 was the first year. So it's been going on a little bit longer than the women's race. And yeah, the 4 jerseys are the Ochre leader's jersey. The sprinter's jersey is blue, and then there's light blue with like green polka dots for KOM. And then the white is the youngest rider jersey. So there were some bigger names there. Luke Plapp, Simon Yates, Julian Alaphilippe, which we talked about before. Caleb Ewan is there, now on Lotto Destiny. Biniam Girmay and Sam Welsford, big sprinter from Bora. Basically, there are 6 stages, 4 sprints, and 2 big GC stages towards the end in Mount Lofty and Wollonga Hill, which was the big one at the women's race. So Adam Yates has won this before, I think, and Simon Yates has dominated on both of those climbs before. But we'll see how it goes for them, because I don't think maybe as good as Jayco had hoped. Stage 1, like I said, is a sprint finish. Did you watch any of this stage?
I watched either short highlights or extended highlights for all 6 of these stages.
Yeah. What did you think about this one?
Well, let's check my notes.
Check your notes, please. There was a sprint finish.
Bora really dominated that final sprint.
Yeah, huge lead out.
Really great lead out for Sam Welsford.
Yeah. Adam Blythe said it's the highest level of pro cycling since it has begun.
Apparently, that stage.
Just the 2024 World Tour of cycling. No, not Bora. They wish.
They wish.
Is like the highest level of pro cycling since it has begun. That was one of the quotes I wrote down from the first.
Is that like a prediction?
No, he's just
for the 2024.
He's just like so amped up, and he's just like, this is the highest level of pro cycling has ever been.
Well, he might not be wrong. Who knows?
He's probably not wrong.
If you
they're all eating 110 fucking grams of carbs an hour.
Yeah, with change in philosophies like carb intake and bike technology, bikes being lighter, everything. I mean, yeah, could be.
Yeah. Carb heads.
Strong.
There was also a crit leading up to it. I didn't watch any of that. Caleb Ewan was now on Jayco. Oh no, he's on Jayco now. I said he was on Lotto earlier. That's wrong. He's on Jayco, which is the Australian.
Yes, Jayco now.
Yeah. He did not do the lead up crit, which was won by Jonathan Narvaez, which, I mean, he's a name that we're going to see a little bit later.
Narvaez,
yeah. And
on Ineos, is that correct?
Correct. So yeah, pretty standard sprint for that one. Stage 2, basically still a sprint, sort of flat stage, but a hill near the end. Big attack by Luke Plapp, which I think is also just like a great cycling name. He drops everyone but the aforementioned Narvaez, but they don't work together at all, and the group ends up coming back. I'm just writing him as he who must not be named, so you don't have to bleep his name. He makes an early attack. Did you see it? He who must not be named.
On stage 1, he who must not be named was the first person.
Yes.
As soon as the car left neutral zone, he just went.
He did. He sprinted.
And he did it again on another stage, too.
Yeah, he did. I think he's really just trying to get out there in the stars and stripes as much as he can.
Yeah.
And frankly...
boo.
Yeah, frankly boo on the image of the flag in general. But yeah, he is really... I don't know. He probably has a lot on the line. He's probably a big season. You know, he's got to sort of start to compete at a higher level, and I don't really want to talk about him anymore.
Yeah, sure.
But yeah, he was an asshole on the camera a couple of times, and I just don't like him. But there's a group sprint at the end. It's not organized at all, and Del Toro had like the best like kick, and it was awesome. There was like 1K left, and he made a huge gap, and like
huge
it was
gap.
a great sprint, and like it was like, oh, who is
Super
this
strong
guy? Isaac Del Toro.
Yeah.
A Mexican rider from UAE.
Yep.
Yeah. Never heard
that
of him
was
before.
A super strong attack he made. It was something around 300 meters to go.
Yeah, and he just kicked,
really gapped everybody.
Yeah, it was sick.
Yeah. So something that I noticed right away was the Australian national team on some black Cervelos.
That's true.
Ooh.
That's true.
They were looking nice.
They were on soloists, I think.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think so. They had a drop seat stay, so it's not the R5, but it wasn't the super aero looking,
right.
So it wasn't the S5. So I think it was a soloist or the Caledonia, but I think it was a soloist.
Yeah,
which is like a sick bike.
Yeah,
I think like
probably not the Caledonia though.
No, I don't think so. No,
because the Caledonia is the more budget one.
Yeah. I bet it was a soloist, which I think is like a very popular bike right now, and it's like a great endurance bike, and so you're riding a long time on it, you know.
Yeah,
but yeah. They're like a fun team. It's nice to see like
they were
national
really,
teams there.
Yeah, you know? they were making moves, which I mean you gotta assume any country would do in their national big annual race.
Yeah, for sure.
But they had some really good showings. I really liked their jerseys too.
Yeah, me too. They're clean,
cool colors.
I mean, Plapp, who is the Australian national champion, is not on the Australian team. He's on Jayco, but his jersey is sick.
Yeah,
really cool. His skin suit, which. We saw what happened to that a couple stages later. Stage 3 is another great like sprint, another great lead out by Bora. Viviani was there from Ineos, but close was not fast enough. And Biniam Girmay totally fell short on this stage. Sam Welsford gets the win again. What's up with Binny? Like,
I know,
is it
right?
the team? Is it the gear? Is it him? Like, he's not on the best team. He definitely is not on the best setup. Is that like enough of a difference?
I wonder if it really just comes down to the team and being able to get him in. Well, I mean, he's getting into position.
Yeah, he's getting.
But I think it's just a matter of lead outs.
Yeah, true.
He just doesn't have the lead outs anyone has.
It's still early.
He's always like scrapping around,
holding someone
in
else's
those final
300
meters to just like get on anyone else is in front, whoever's in front of him.
Right.
And it's probably a lot of times not his teammates.
Yeah, I like that team. I like Intermarché. I like to see teams that aren't super teams with like smaller budgets do well, but it is like you're sort of like, oh, well, it's the team like Bora, who's the exact opposite, that are on like this top-notch S-Work specialized gear, are just like flying, absolutely flying.
They came with a strong lineup, I guess, for that.
Yeah, for sure. They did.
Yeah, but it was stage 1 and 3, the first two true like full bunch sprints.
Yeah.
Biniam was right in there in the mix, but I think for first stage he finished third, and I don't know where he finished on the third stage.
No, I think he ended up being top 10 overall, maybe. But stage 4 is kind of a repeat of stage 3. There weren't that many breakaways. It was a lot of like two-man breakaways. They would go out for a while, and then they would end up getting taken back in. Sam Welsford gets the win again here with another great lead out.
Got Biniam second on this stage.
In stage 4?
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, so it's just like he's there, man. He's ready.
Right. Yeah, but you can't beat that, like Welsford was just like delivered on a silver platter. And Del Toro is still in the lead of the TDU at this point. He's still in that ochre jersey.
Oh, was he?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
There was a really weird crash in that stage 4.
Was that when Plapp went down?
No, I have it written as, I think it was 4 guys. There was 2 Cofidis and 2 IJAH.
Yeah.
And I don't remember which. It was IJAH, because they're on those really interesting like black and teal bikes. I forget which brand those are. I think they're like a special Aero Bianchi.
Really?
Frame. Yeah, and they had a really weird crash where their bikes got locked together and one of the guys' chainstay snapped. And he went to go get on it, and then he started riding. I was like, oh shit, no, screw this thing.
Damn, I did not notice that. No. That was the day that Plapp went down. He went down pretty hard in like a 6-person pileup. And he was like below everyone. Like when people started to get up, you still couldn't see him under there.
Oh, wow.
He tore up his skin suit a ton. It was like 30% of it was torn off.
Yeah, I saw an image of him.
Yeah.
with the skin suit torn.
Yeah.
Super rough. I didn't see the actual crash, but
yeah, it was rough. He was like totally buried. Yeah. Ugh. So 2 stages left. We start to get to the hilly stages. There's a big tailwind for most of this stage. This is when they do Wollonga Hill twice. Plap is out, like I said, so Jayco's sort of a bit lacking, even though they don't even have any wins here yet. Caleb Ewan sort of been falling short. It comes to a GC battle, and Navarez shows off a little bit. Yates doesn't seem to have enough, and Oscar Only comes over the top, like pretty much, and holds it, but gets a good win here. You know, he's Scottish from DSM Firmenich Post NL, the best team name in the tour this year. DSM Firmenich Post NL. Sucks. At least Intermarché
a lot of ring.
What?
A lot of ring, if you ask me.
Yeah, it rolls right off the tongue.
I can't even repeat what you just said.
DSM Firmenich Post NL.
DSM Firmenich Post NL.
Yeah,
I got it.
You did it. Nice job.
I'll just call him DSM.
Yeah, DSM is good. Yeah.
Oscar Onley.
Yeah, absolutely crushed
it. A nice win. Scottish rider. You'd love to see it. You don't see a lot of it. Simon Yates, it was like, I don't know, those last couple K, there was like whatever that front group was, he was really making some efforts. And yeah.
And like Yates tried to go, but then Onley was just right on his wheel, and he came around Williams, Stephen Williams, and Navarez, and just like put in the gap. And yeah, DSM needs wins, you know?
Yeah.
They don't have the most points and stuff. So yeah, good for him early in the year. And then this is also when Stephen Williams goes into the leader's jersey on a tiebreaker, which is interesting. He had the same time as Oscar Onley.
Yeah. I saw that because in my notes I wrote that Oscar Onley got the jersey, but I think it was only after that it was, because right when Onley finished, I said saying that he was that he got the jersey.
Yeah.
But then I saw the next day that he was not in the jersey.
Yeah, it's based on the sum of his overall GC positions in the previous stages of the race. Yeah, so that gave him a 1 second gap on Oscar Onley. And
1 second gap, huh?
Yeah. And then stage 6, Mount Lofty stage, won by Yates last year. This is when Vine got the GC. And biggest breakaway for the whole race, there was like 20 K of battling. Yates tried to go a couple times with like 120 to go at one point. He tried to go, but got brought back in. And then Del Toro goes a couple times on the actual climb. Pithy is like off the front a little bit. Climb goes up and down and kicks back up. And then Stephen Williams, who's in the ochre jersey, gets the big win, wins the stage. And this is the first World Tour win for Israel Premier Tech, which is wild.
Like ever?
World Tour GC stage win.
Wow.
Yeah. For Israel Premier Tech. Yeah.
That's nuts.
Yeah, I think so. And it's big points for them early in the season.
And he's a Brit.
Stephen Williams?
Yeah.
Yeah, he is. He's Welsh. Yeah.
He's Welsh.
Yeah.
He looks like he could be Theo Gegenhardt's brother.
Yeah, he does. Yeah. But yeah, he had a good race. It was fun to watch, right? It was fun to see the new kits. Which kits stood out the most? We talked about Luke Blaps. Is there any other kits stand out? Any kits you think are boring that we're seeing them now in the Peloton?
I think the one that stood out the most for me in terms of liking a new kit is the Bora kit.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if I love the exact blocking on it, but I do like the colors, and I like the...
I wish the red was still in there.
Oh, yeah, it did have a little bit of red before. The little square sort of tag of red.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was nice. But it seems like they're going a little... Maybe red wouldn't work with that sort of more limey, yellowish, whatever, but...
I hate it, though. I don't like the Visma kits.
You hate them?
I kind of hate them.
Really?
Yeah.
They got the kind of like honeycomb... line detail.
I like the line detail, and I love the line detail on the bike.
Too much yellow?
That yellow, it's just like the worst yellow.
Yeah, it's not like a good
canary yellow. It's not a good yellow.
Yeah. At least in recent years, it was like they had all other design things happening.
Sure.
Along with the yellow, but this one's just
yellow.
All
this is
yellow.
just yellow. Yeah. It's not great.
Yeah.
And then there are a lot of other ones that sort of just blend together. The UAE one is also very funny. It's just white.
Yeah, the UAE one.
I think I like the Ineos one a lot.
So many of them are boring.
Yeah, Ineos one is pretty sick. It's got the gradient that goes down the middle.
The Ineos one is cool, yeah, with the gradient.
Yeah.
I do like that. That stood out to me a bit.
Yeah.
As being one of the few changes this season that I think is a nice change to look at.
Where did you watch? You ended up watching highlights too. This was just like all on YouTube.
Yeah. I just was searching on YouTube. I think I watched NBC Sports highlights as well as oh my gosh,
Flow Bikes.
Flow, yeah.
Flow Bikes highlights is what I watched, but I watched the Eurosport feed live on Tiz because now we're in a post GCN Plus world.
Yeah. Well, this brings up a topic that I was gonna broach.
Let's talk about it.
Broach. Had it right the first time.
Broach.
Yeah, with a post GCN Plus world we're living in now.
Yeah.
What are we gonna do?
Tiz.
Just Tiz?
I mean, I don't really want to pay for anything yet.
Yeah. So this is going to be Tiz.
I heard Discovery Plus has stuff, and they might have even had this. And I do have Discovery Plus for some reason, like some like Apple package. I get it for like it's like included.
Really?
I don't know. I don't pay extra for it.
Yeah.
It's included in something.
Mm-hmm. But so if we're gonna pay for a service,
yeah.
Do you know? And I'm sorry to put you on the spot. Do you know what these services or services would be? Because I think at one point you had shared a spreadsheet or something that showed between Flow Bikes,
yes,
Discovery Plus,
yes,
and Max,
correct,
asterisk with a sports add-on,
the Bleacher Sports
add-on that you have to pay extra for to get it. And it seems like you can't pay for one service to watch all of the races that you would have watched on GCN Plus.
That is 100% correct.
And now the other thing that might be an option is, well, what if you sign up for Discovery Plus while connected to a VPN in Britain, then maybe that's another option to get a better package. Yeah, but I also cut you off while you were starting to say something.
No, because I don't, excuse me, I don't really know what all of the answers are. I do know that, like, if Discovery Plus carries, like, the French races, then they don't carry the Italian races, if that makes sense. Because, like, the ICS and the ASO, I might be getting those wrong, are, like, the two different organizations that, like, organize the races. You know, not the UCI, not the governing body, but the people that actually organize the races. Mm-hmm. And those are two separate entities, and those entities don't have the same media deals.
Right.
And so GCN was unique. GCN Plus was unique was because it could compile them, even though in the States you might not be able to get them all.
Right. States definitely no.
Right. Yeah. There was a lot of like blackouts for the States. But at least you could somehow get your way around it. And it was like one channel where like they actually had the rights to everything, which I don't think is the case right now. I think it would be like a little bit of this, a little bit of that, which is so annoying. I think Discovery Plus will get you NBC Sports, like we said.
Yeah.
And then I think Bleacher will get you, like the Max ones will get you like the Italian races, but I'm really not sure. I could have it totally backwards. Yeah. And it is frustrating. And for now, I will use Tiz until at least the Giro comes around, I think, in May. Yeah. And then I'll see how Tiz is holding up for the Giro, and then maybe I'll get like a 1 month thing for whatever holds the Italian races. I don't know, maybe leading up, because there are classics leading up to that, but I feel like, so for those people that don't know, Tiz is like an illegal site, essentially.
Right.
Where like they have these feeds and they like stream them for you to watch, and they're like ad inundated sites. And so there's a lot of pop-ups. But if you have the right pop-up blockers, you can sort of get around it. And
there's a lot of pop-ups, and there's a lot of options for like qualities or speeds, like internet speeds and things.
So they have different feeds, like a 1080, a 720.
I was a bit confused by it every time I try.
And so it depends on what, like how much, like if you're just watching on your phone, you might not pull as much, like, or data. You might just want to go for like the 480, and certain ones will get taken down by the publishers. And a thing that I think is the worst part, because I don't really care that it's illegal, you know, they're making it hard for me, and so that's why people start to pirate things. That's why we pirated music with Napster back in the day, and because there's just like there's too many subscriptions now. You know, I could go, like, it sucks. We have like 10 subscriptions again. We're paying the same we used to pay for cable.
We're probably paying more.
We're probably paying more.
Yeah, we did it to ourselves. We fucking did it to ourselves.
We did it to ourselves, but they got us good, and they have us right where they want them. So the problem, I think, with Tiz is like, if you're watching the tour and it's like the Alpe d'Huez stage, everyone else is watching it.
Yeah.
And like the broadband is like spread so thin because so many people are accessing the website that that it tends to drop out at like the worst times.
Yeah, of course.
And that is so frustrating to watch.
Yeah.
So I don't think I'll stick with it, but we'll see.
Yeah, I'm so nervous. I don't think my nerves can handle trying to watch these Grand Tours on TIS.
Right, but what about races leading up to it? What about some of the classics? What about like Loop, which is coming up kind of soon?
Yeah, I think I'd probably try TIS for that stuff leading up to Giro.
Yeah.
Probably, but that's also me thinking about personal finances as well.
Sure.
So I'm not really looking to dive into a new subscription, but I don't know. I mean, the Grand Tours obviously will be a separate thing, and like you said, maybe we can just pay for 1 month with whatever service we need to watch a better coverage and full live coverage of a Grand Tour. Yeah. But I don't know. And I think we might have mentioned it on the podcast in the past with the Amateurs Talking Pros series. I think if you do, because I think Cal was the only one that did, well, out of the three of us that did the like Discovery Plus or NBC package.
Oh yeah.
Last year, or Peacock, I guess.
Yeah, Peacock.
He said that you could choose if you wanted to watch the American NBC feed or a Eurosport feed. And if that's the case, I think last year, I think it was like you could pay the minimum $5 package just for that month. So for $5, watch the Eurosport feed of the whole tour. That's like pretty worth it.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Peacock, which has NBC, will cover the tour with NBC Sports.
Yeah.
I don't care for those people.
Oh, yeah, right. I once I started watching GCN Plus and getting the Eurosport feed, I could not go back because it was the tour last year. That was when I ended up buying the VPN.
Yeah,
to watch GCN tour.
It's so good,
and it's just like because it was on the first stage where I was like, my plan was not to pay for VPN. I was just going to watch NBC for that.
Yeah,
and then not only is it like horrible in comparison, the coverage, and I don't know. I don't really want to shit talk the commentators because they're legends in their own right.
I think the Eurosport ones, the GCN Plus people, are just so much better, and they have such a good rapport. I love the rapport. They come in and out. It's so funny. Sean Kelly is a legend. Yeah. Like it's just like they're all just so great. I love the whole team. Orla is great. It's just awesome. Yeah.
And the way Sean Kelly got fired up towards the end of the Vuelta last year. I know we talked about it before, but I'll say it again. It was awesome.
Yeah, he's awesome. He's great.
Because he was saying what we were all thinking.
Yep.
Or at least what I was thinking. I don't know.
100%.
I saw another headline maybe 2 to 4 weeks ago, but I don't think I ended up reading the article, but it was like Sepp Kuss finally breaks his silence and truly tells what happened within the team during Vuelta.
I don't know. Did that ever come out?
I don't know. But I feel like any explanation he's ever given of it is like a non-explanation.
No, he's definitely skirted it.
Yeah, it's a non-answer.
Yeah. Right. He's definitely just been like, well, the team wants to ride for the win.
Yeah. I mean, but I mean, that's an art in and of itself, the way he's answered all those questions and had long conversations about what happened.
I mean, I think it's very clear that Primoz wanted to win, and then he went hard on that one stage, and Jonas was like, "Oh no, if Primoz is going, I should follow."
Yeah.
And then they had a meeting, and they were like, "Hey, we can't be doing this." They already have a reputation. Not a lot of people like them, and so they were like, "Hey, let's let Sepp win." Not that he didn't deserve to win, but they also kind of let him win. But good for him. He still deserves it. He still crushed it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he absolutely deserved it.
Yeah.
And I think that was the whole thing about it. It was like, well, do you just gift it to somebody because they worked for you? Or do you let the best man win, But it's like, but the issue is that they were all on the same team.
Right.
So it's like, why would you attack someone that's on your team?
Right.
Doesn't matter that you went into the race thinking you were a GC favorite.
Right. And you
should still work for the person that is in the lead.
Correct. Right.
And that was my opinion on it.
Right. Same.
It was like, sure, I don't love the idea of him being gifted it. I don't want him to be gifted.
You want him to earn it.
But they're also,
he earned it.
You're also on teams.
Yeah.
You're on a team together.
He rode all 3 Grand Tours.
Yeah.
And Primoz won the first one and Jonas won the second one. So let him win the third. It rules.
Seems perfect.
Yeah, it seems perfect.
It rules.
Okay, so something I want to talk about real quick. Do you find it hard to avoid spoilers of races? Whether it be because of like Instagram or Strava, or like, do you have any tricks to get around it? Because even during TDU, I'm getting those stages spoiled. And like, let's be honest, I'm scrapping for cycling content right now, right? It's January. I'm excited that TDU is happening. It's obviously far from the biggest race, but I still don't want to open up YouTube and see Sam Welsford sprint for the finish to the win, like on a headline of a video, like at the top of my YouTube feed.
Yeah.
I don't follow pros on Strava for this reason.
Yeah, I follow very few pros on Strava, and I have unfollowed some in the past for this specific reason.
Yeah. Because they put gold trophies like in the title of their ride.
Yeah, or name other people in celebration of their win or something.
Yep.
But I think it's something that you've done in the past too, and the only thing I might do is just temporarily unfollow. Like during a Grand Tour season, or not season, but during a Grand Tour, I might unfollow or maybe mute GCN. And
shouldn't they be held to a higher standard to not spoil it in the freaking title?
GCN and even all the ungodly number of cycling meme pages.
Yes,
which sucks because like memes are funny.
Memes are
but you got to unfollow them during the Grand Tour.
Memes are funny.
Memes are funny.
And then people are using memes to be funny, but then telling me that Wout wins whatever.
And it's like probably in the form of memes and in the medium of memes.
Yes.
People are giving spoilers that they're sort of not realizing.
Right.
In the same way of like, I shouldn't share that news article right now because I have other friends that will be spoiled.
Yeah, but a meme, you want to get on it. You want to get on
I know, that's the whole thing. You want to
be the first one to make the funny joke.
So I guess maybe it's just like...
Stop looking at
just
your
like
phone.
mute them rather than unfollow them. Because,
you're right.
Because I always worry about, if I'm going to go and follow pages that I wanted to see in the first place, I'm going to forget to follow them or not refollow all of them.
Right. Can I just mute all of the meme pages for July?
That's what I'm thinking. Is just mute everything. But then my question in that regard is on Instagram, and I don't know, I am asking, can you see a list or a drop-down list of all the pages you have muted?
I don't know. I know you can see the pages that you've blocked, but I don't know if you can see the pages that you've muted.
Because that would be good. Or if you could even like add pages that you follow to like a category, like if you have like self-composed categories or lists, and you can just say like mute this whole list.
This is like a pitch for Instagram.
That would be awesome. Or it is, and
Meta should be listening.
I don't love that because we don't want to be on Instagram actually to begin with.
Yeah,
and I just like 2 or 3 days ago, I just implemented my screen time limit thing.
Good for you.
For Instagram.
Serious. Yeah,
and one of my best friends has had that up probably since that became a thing. And I've always thought it was a good idea, but I finally only, decided to do it a couple days ago.
I've done it before, and then I'm just like, I can get around this. He's too easy.
I think it maybe is a little too easy to just say, no, ignore for another 15 minutes. And you just like...
perpetually do that.
It should really just like... Or they should have the option of like, hard lockout. Like, don't let me back.
Like, I'm serious.
Yeah.
The same way that I
did this because I'm serious.
The same way that I want to lock out like eating chocolate chips in my life, I want to lock out looking at Instagram.
You got a chocolate chip problem?
I did, but I didn't have one in all of 2023.
Oh, wow.
So in our pantry downstairs, we just have like jars of things for baking. My lovely wife loves to bake.
Yeah.
She's got a lot of... So there's one that has chocolate chips in it. And I would just go over there, all 2022, go over there, open it up, take a few, you know? You just grab a few.
Are we talking semi-sweet?
Semi-sweet.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Don't want them too sweet.
No, semi-sweet, not too sweet. You walk over there, you take a few. You do that a few times a night. You do that a few times a week. That really starts to add up.
Yeah.
So last year, I was like, I'm not doing this anymore. And I have not reached my hand into that jar since December.
But the jar's still there.
The jar's still there in the same spot.
Good for you.
December 31st, 2022, last time I reached in.
Nice.
Yeah.
Wait, you haven't reached in? You didn't reach in at all?
No.
Jesus.
I have to do things cold turkey. That's how I am. I have to be like, boom, done.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if my parents listen to this podcast. So one time I smoked cigarettes. I don't know if they know that. They probably do. They probably know a lot more.
I'm sure they do.
Yeah. That's why I have this throat now.
For some reason, I think everyone as teenagers doesn't think their parents have noses.
Yeah, no, right. They definitely know. Yeah. But when I quit cold turkey. Just boom, stopped.
Nice.
One night I smoked too many. And I was like, this is gross. And I just threw them away and stopped. That was like 10 years ago or whatever, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah.
What about peanut butter, though? Let me ask you that.
That's just something I can't have in the house, my friend.
I know you like peanut butter a lot. So you just don't even have it in the house anymore.
Peanut butter is the best food. It's a perfect food.
Yeah.
You don't need to pair it with anything, even though you could pair it with a million things. It's beautiful by itself, right?
Oh, yeah.
Philosophically, peanut butter is the best food, as far as I'm concerned.
Philosophically.
Yes. If I have it in my house, I overeat it.
Yeah. It's so easy to overeat.
Yeah. And I like,
peanut butter.
We ride our bikes a lot. And so like you want to bring in the calories, but it's also so easy. And I think, going back to not to make this not about like amateurs talking pros, but like it's very easy. Like if you're going and riding your bike and eating while you ride and then like coming home and like refueling to just like be at a net positive with calories, not even like a net negative or like a neutral, And so like peanut butter in the house for me, a couple like 200 calorie scoops, easy. Yeah. I've been messing around with PB Fit a little.
PB Fit's nice. Yeah.
It fits the bill. It's not as fatty, so it feels a little bit healthier.
I think it tastes good.
It's a little bit more of a process, so it's not as easy as just opening in the jar and scooping it out,
Yeah, I'm a fan.
Yeah, but peanut butter is...
I don't always have that on hand, but I do like to have it.
Yeah.
It's nice for smoothies. I also like because I like it because you can make it your own consistency.
Yes.
You're not beholden.
No. And it feels more fun to mix things in. Sometimes I mix a little honey or a little maple syrup,
Sure.
Cinnamon.
Oh, yeah, a little cinnamon.
You can do this stuff to regular peanut butter,
God.
but no, you can.
It's different though.
It's different because the thickness.
It's different.
It's different.
I got a question for you.
Yeah.
Now, let's bring our minds back to a year when you had peanut butter and chocolate chips in the house.
Yes.
Have you ever taken a spoonful of peanut butter?
Yep.
And dunked that directly into the chocolate chips?
100%.
Huh.
Yeah.
Nice.
If you've done that too?
I probably had.
Or something similar to it.
I probably have.
So there's, how there people are like, there's two types of people.
Definitely something similar. I'll tell
there's two types of people in this world. I don't believe that. I think that's stupid. But what I do believe is if you're like, no, I wouldn't do that, that's disgusting. Or you're like, no, I've never tried that. Then I don't want to know you.
You know who would definitely fit that bill?
That thing thinks it's disgusting?
Yeah.
Who?
Paul Hollywood.
I don't know him. I don't know Paul Hollywood.
But if you met him, you'd have a talking point.
Yeah, you think he would think that's disgusting?
I think that he has said on many occasions that he does not like the combo of chocolate and peanut butter.
I do remember hearing him say that.
He likes both, but not together.
Right. I could not disagree more.
Yes, I agree with your disagreement.
My favorite ride snack is a Reese's Fast Break. It's the best candy bar. It's chocolate peanut butter, a little bit of nougat. It's so good. But anything Reese's is so good. Chocolate peanut butter, so good.
Yeah, that's probably our go-to like bad snack in the house is like there at any given time there might be like a bag of Reese's in the freezer.
Yeah. What kind?
Or like
just cups.
Actually white, which is interesting because I'm really not a white chocolate person. I don't care for it at all, actually. But I can agree that the Reese's White Ghosts are one of the best Reese's.
Do you have white ghosts in your house like year round? Like, do you buy enough around Halloween?
No, we probably should this year though. That's a good idea.
Yeah, plan for that in 9 months.
Time. I'll keep them in the basement in a locked cabinet.
Yeah.
Every month or every 2 weeks, we bring up one more bag. I got to buy the right amount of bags.
Don't you think you should keep them in the freezer to keep them fresh? I don't think they're going to stay fresh. When Reese's get, I guess I have to check the date. They get like that white on them. Yeah, oh no, they're white chocolates, so you won't even know.
Yeah, we won't even know.
Sometimes they get chalky. Reese's get chalky.
The chocolate or peanut butter or both?
The chocolate on the outside on like an old Reese's. Yeah,
really.
Best thing. One of the second best thing I ever found on the side of the road was a 2 cup of Reese's. That was a ride find of mine.
Unopened.
unopened right around Halloween time this
Just
past year.
the original dual pack.
Yeah. Yep.
Single serving.
Yeah, it was great. Found it, turned around, was so pumped. I remember exactly where I was.
Yeah.
I could take you there anytime.
You remember exactly where it was.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's funny.
What's the best thing you ever found? You ever find anything fun on a ride?
Nothing that noteworthy. I remember one ride that we were on together with a few other people.
Yep.
I think actually it was you, me, Marcus, Noah, Brian.
Yep.
Day before you guys did Greylock.
Yeah.
For the first time, or you second time?
Yeah.
No, it was King Mangus.
Okay.
Day before you guys did King and Mangus one year.
We were doing a little recovery
a little recovery ride before we podcasted.
Yep.
And we found on Lewiston Road
100%. Yeah.
a big collection of like sort of yard sale items, if you will.
Yeah.
But that like someone was throwing out. Yeah, giveaway stuff.
Free box of toys.
And there was like a Darth Vader mask. And like a laser.
And a couple of lightsabers. And a sword.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember that day very well.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, but I've never found anything that amazing. Sometimes I see things, I'm like, oh, I should go back for that.
Yeah.
If even just for a picture or something, but I don't.
It's fun. I found a Matchbox car. Found $5 once.
Yeah.
I did find a used dildo on the side of the road once. Not even a lie. On Shetucket Turnpike in Connecticut. It was bright pink. Caught my eye. Turned around so fast. One of the funniest things I've ever witnessed.
Battery inside, or?
I didn't touch it.
You didn't touch it?
I did not touch it. I took a video of it from about 5 feet away. I did not touch it.
You can grab like a big leaf and then put it in one of your jersey pockets.
Why? Like, what do you want?
Yeah, why? Yeah, that's a good question.
You know, it's on the side of the road.
That's something I would only question after I was riding again with it in my pocket. Like, what am I going to do with this?
So I did find a knife on the side of the road once, and I'm pretty sure it's just like an old like fishing knife, like that someone would like gut a fish with.
Yeah.
But there is a little bit of like what might be blood on it, and I just found that on the side of the road and put it in my pocket, and now it's in my house, and it could be a murder weapon. You ever think about that?
This deserves.
Should we both do that?
Oh yeah, you have glasses too. Yeah.
Is this what it's like to do bits with glasses? You've been wearing glasses your whole life?
You found a murder weapon? Wow.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe I did. All right, real quick, let's talk about...
That's what it's like having glasses, yes.
Yeah, you've been wearing glasses your whole life, right?
Since like maybe... Actually...
When I met you, were you a glasses wearing person?
Well, I wore them for school.
Yeah.
But not all the time. I think I started wearing them all the time junior or senior year of high school.
Yeah. So. The sunglasses that you wear on the bike, are they prescription?
Sometimes.
Okay.
I wear contacts.
Oh, okay.
Sometimes.
Gotcha.
But then I got
prescription sunglasses?
I have prescription sunglasses, yes, of course. And I have one pair of like, they're like cheap exercise, like running sunglasses.
Yeah.
And they just look terrible.
In general, I try not to wear them. Or what? You're just in general?
Oh, just in general.
Yeah.
And I don't think they fit my face well. They sort of give me a weird depth thing, so I don't really wear them very much.
Yeah.
But I do notice when I wear just like my regular sunglasses, I notice my eyes can get irritated depending on the time of year compared to wearing my contacts and like regular
like an allergy sunglasses. Thing time of year, you mean?
No, I think maybe just like more stuff on the roads.
Yeah.
Both actually, because I definitely have allergies, seasonal allergies, and that would affect it for sure.
Yeah.
Wearing smaller sunglasses like this size versus large Sutros or whatever.
Right.
Like I hate the idea of riding without my sunglasses on.
Me
it's
too.
Just like
terrifying.
So anything could get in your eye.
I had a big old bee hit
grain
me
of sand go in your eye and you're screwed.
Terrifying.
You know?
No thanks.
A bee flew in your eye.
Yeah. I was on a foggy ride in New Hampshire, and I was like, it's really foggy. I'm going to take my glasses off. And within 5 minutes, a big old something flying. It was big. It felt like a bumblebee. Like it was big but soft.
Oh, no.
And it drilled me in the eye. And I was like, I'm putting my glasses back on.
Ugh.
And it was like wet and rainy. And like wasn't the best condition for like the glasses that I had. I should have had like a 50% tint, but they were like, pretty heavy and not great.
I just typically do unless they're fogged up and I really have to take them off.
Yeah.
If it's just because of water, then I just do like a thumb wipe or something on them, and that's at least makes the water bead in larger beads and you can see around it. But
I agree.
I generally don't like having my sunglasses off.
Yeah, even in the rain, I'll wear even maybe just clears, or I do have some like half one. But you got to wear them. Yeah. I don't think I learned my lesson that day. The bee hit me in the eye. So one more race here in January, the Cadell Evans Great Ocean Road Race, which is down in the the part of the world where the Tour Down Under is. It's in Australia. Benny will be there. Caleb Ewan will be there. Luke Plapp, Corbin Strong. Meyerhofer won last year, which I kind of forgot about that. Hugo Page and Simon Clark were on the podium, so that's exciting. That's this upcoming weekend.
I'm not sure I even remember this race from last year.
It's a one-day race, and it's sort of just like caps off the trip to Australia for a lot of these riders.
Wow, and it's in Australia?
It's in Australia. Cadell Evans is an ex-pro Australian rider.
Cadell Evans, yeah.
Yeah.
Are there other smaller like Asian teams that join that at all?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know, honestly.
So I found that interesting in some of the early season races last year. That was my first time watching.
Yeah.
So all of those races. To see like teams from Japan and Taiwan
and stuff. Yeah.
I
don't know. I mean, it would make there were none of them at the Tour Down Under, but that's like a world tour race, so there's only so many invites and stuff,
Yeah.
And then after that, UAE Tour is in February 20th. Remco won last year. Plapp and Adam Yates were on the podium with him. Not a complete start list so far, but let's check out some of the names on that. Dylan Groenewegen is going for Jayco. UAE is sending Adam Yates again. Jay Vine, Brandon McNulty. Wow.
Mikkel Bjerg, that's already a solid lineup for them.
Visma Lisa Bike is sending Attila Volter and Olaf Koy for sure.
Wow. Sorry, go ahead.
What?
Thought I cut you off.
No, I didn't really.
Astana's got one person on the roster so far.
It's a Cavendish. It is Mark Cavendish. Good. He's going to need to get into shape for all those tour stages he's going to lose. Phil Bauhaus is going for Bahrain. Thomas de Gent for Lotto. Decathlon AG2R. They've got a list out there. Yeah. Ben O'Connor.
Sam Bennett.
Yeah, Sam. Oh, wow. Weird to see him in that team. But yeah, definitely not a complete list yet. Roman Bardet is going for Team DSM Firmenich Post NL. Fabio Jakobsen as well, who's also on that team. Maybe the worst kit in the World Tour as I'm looking at all these jerseys here.
Right now, DSM?
Yeah, that DSM one is absolute trash. The Tudor one is kind of boring, but it's similar. They're, not a World Tour team, but they are going to the UAE Tour. Yeah, we're going to have to start picking worst kit for each race.
Oh, my gosh. It's for me, it's an extremely tough, decision to say who has the worst kit. Because so many of them are just so bad. And they're just so boring.
I agree.
And the thing that kills me about UAE, the only interesting details they put on this kit are on the low stomach.
And they disappear
that you will never see.
Yeah, right. Because their riders are hunched over. Yep, I agree.
Don't get it.
I agree.
And the Trek jersey still kills me. My God.
It looks like a play school thing. Ineos is pretty good. EF is pretty good, even though I do feel like EF needs to shake it up a little bit. A lot of the same pink, and you know what I mean? I don't know. Like, I do think it's slick. It looks good. I like the pink. It stands out, but I don't know. I feel like they're due for a big shakeup. Maybe this year's Giro jersey will be sick. Who knows?
A big shakeup would be fun for them. Yeah. I still like that pink, but
me too.
A big shakeup would be fun.
And then Omloop, Dylan Van Barle won last year. Arnaud Delis and Christophe Laporte were also on the podium. This is on February 25th. Also not a complete start list, but Visma Lisa Bike is sending Wout van Aert, Tish Benoot, Christophe Laporte, Eduardo Arfini, Dylan Van Barle, and the American Matteo Jorgensen. So that's exciting.
That is exciting.
That's a sweet looking team.
Lineup.
That is a sweet team. Binny is also going for Intermarché. Edvard Bosenhagen for AG2R. But yeah, definitely not a complete list here. Anyone else stand up? Stefan Bissinger. Oh, Pidcock's going for Ineos.
Jonathan Milan.
Oh yeah, he's on
Trek now.
Yeah,
but that could be interesting.
Yeah, for sure.
Although,
Alaphilippe's going.
But this is a 1 day, right?
Yeah, correct.
I guess what type of rider is Milan for 1 days?
I don't know. He's kind of like a Ghana. He could go if he like goes off the front, you know.
Yeah, if he can.
Yeah.
If he can maintain up front,
right,
and hold, then.
But then he would have a shot. I don't think it necessarily ends in a sprint that would suit him. It's more of like a wout type of deal.
True,
after like a hard
not
day.
A pure sprinter.
Right. After a hard day,
for sure.
But yeah, I'd love to see Wout win this and like start the season off right.
That would be amazing.
Didn't have a great season last year. So. In terms of wins. I mean, obviously Jumbo had cleaned up, you know.
Yeah. I hope Wout has a big year. That'd be amazing.
Yeah.
Get some of those wins that he's really been going for lately. You know, actually one jersey that, one kit that did strike me when watching UAE.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Tour Down Under.
Yeah, Tour Down Under.
Was the Jayco jerseys.
Yeah.
When I look at the image of it, it's like, it's not exactly exciting, but the way the colors fade to each other
looks way better.
Caught my eye in person.
Yeah, I agree.
And to see Ewan in that jersey, threw me. I like wasn't finding him at first, you know.
Yeah.
But I think I liked the way over the shoulders that white fades to the blue, and then the sort of that red or almost pinkish red underneath, like kind of hides in there.
It is. It's like a reverse
when
Lotto.
They're on the bike. I thought it looked really slick. Actually,
yeah, I do like that too. You're right. The Israel Premier Tech one looks like it could be nice. We just want to see what that looks like in person.
I think now that we listened to that interview with I forget who it was of X.
Oh, the director?
The director.
X? Yeah. It was a great interview on the Bobby and Jens podcast.
I feel like I like the jerseys more now. I like the kit more.
I love them so much. I just love his whole philosophy.
Great interview.
It was
go listen to
great interview.
Bobby and Jens.
Yeah,
podcast.
What is his name?
His name was Jens.
No, Bobby and his name was Jans Hagen. Is that right?
That sounds very close.
Yeah, he's like the overall director of Uno X Mobility, both the men's and the women's team. He was recently interviewed on the Bobby and Jens podcast, which is with Bobby Julich and Jens Voigt, and it is just like he's just such an interesting character. I think he has a lot of like the right ideas about life, with just like philosophies about cycling, and like he did, lets his team work, and they like stand for a cool cause. Uno X Mobility is like a great green initiative type of company. Yeah.
The director of Uno, and I noticed they were saying Uno, not Uno.
Not Uno. Yeah.
Uno X. Jens Hoagland.
Yeah. Super interesting guy.
Yeah, it was a good interview.
Yeah. So that's good.
And so nice to learn more, like you said, about the philosophies behind the team and their practices. It was very good.
Right, because they very much inform their team on why they are, backing cycling and how they want to grow. A lot of these other sponsors are sort of just like voiceless, and they're just like putting money out there, and like this, I don't know, it seems cool. If you ever heard Magnus Cort, who is now on Uno X, used to be on EF, he like is obsessed with like bionuclear engineering, and it just makes perfect sense that he went to this team because they are very much like of the same ilk,
Yeah, that's
and
exciting.
they are all like from the same. They're all from Denmark, and I think they're all from Denmark. And oh my gosh, just move on. We can just move on. Okay, well that's about it. Those are the next couple races that are coming up within the next month or so. We'll check back in. We'll talk about UAE Tour and Omloop maybe a little bit later in February. And should be exciting. And cycling is here. Spring, I think, as far as New England is concerned, is like 54 days away. So that feels decent.
Already almost in February.
A lot of trainer rides lately. Not fun, but it's nice. It'll be nice to ride outside soon enough.
Time moves slowly.
Yeah. But I'm back on the Zwift train, and I've been kind of liking it.
I'm thinking I might cave.
Yeah, at least I'm doing it this month. It's been good for actual training rides because I have felt that my fitness has been slipping because I haven't been doing like the right amount of hours that I want to be doing, and I feel like it's just a little bit extra instead of just turning on the turbo and like spinning with my head unit.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, I could use some motivation for that.
Yeah. It's been good.
Thinking about signing up myself.
And maybe we'll do some IJAH Swift rides. I think we'll try to do that within the next month or so. I don't think I'm going to keep it past February, but I think I'll at least hold on to it for February. And hopefully I don't use it enough in the weather turns. But I mean, it's been pretty nice the past week or so to just like slick some of the workouts and, got like 2.5 hours in yesterday and like 2 hours today, which is
I saw that.
Kind of a lot for me.
That's a lot for you.
Yeah.
I was surprised.
And
a lot for you on the trainer.
On the trainer. Yeah. So it was nice. It's been working out well for me, and I'm trying to embrace the suck a little bit because it does kind of suck, but it's
got to embrace the suck.
It serves a purpose.
Got to do whatever creature comforts you need around you to help you embrace the suck.
Oh yeah, I've got a tea, a coffee,
the trainer,
my laptop. The Zwift is on the iPad. I'm watching Matt Stevens. I've got 2 fans.
2 fans are important.
4 water bottles.
God, I don't want to start a whole conversation now about this, but what's your fan setup?
So I have a classic Honeywell like face, the one that's like this big. Honeywell is a great company. That's the one I had at first.
In front of you.
And it's in front of me pointed at my face.
Mm-hmm. Where's the second one? What's the orientation of your second fan?
It's down by my torso, pointed up like underneath my arms. Like if my hands are my hands are usually on the tops or on the hoods. I'm not on the drops that much.
Sure.
And it sort of comes in right underneath there, and it's a Vornado
torso.
Yeah, it's pretty great.
Oh, so that's a pretty serious chunk of air. It's
a good chunk of air. It's a good air circulator. Not only does it blow out the air, but it has a good intake in the back, so it's like circulating really well. It's not the biggest fan. It's maybe twice the size of the Honeywell.
Was that a Dyson?
Vornado.
Oh, that's the brand name?
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if
it's not a
that
Dyson.
It's not a Dyson. A model of Dyson.
It was reasonably priced.
Like a Dyson Airblade just
I wish.
Shooting at my face.
I wish. I'd put my head through it if I could. Yeah.
Yeah, actually that'd be really good.
What's your fan situation?
I have one sort of in front of me off to the side. A small Penguin that I got from Job Lot. Makes a little too much noise for the bedroom.
Yep.
So it's in the basement. That's pointing not at my face. I don't like having anything on my face. I feel like my throat will feel weird after an hour or two of riding with it in my face.
It's an issue. Yeah.
So I'm always sort of adjusting it, making sure it's hitting me like just at the neck and down.
Yeah.
And then I have one directly behind me, getting my back.
Oh, that's good.
So the front one is getting really my whole front abdomen. One behind me is just hitting at my back.
Yeah, my face and my head gets so sweaty. That's why I want one on my face. But I feel like it's definitely drying me out in a different way. Well, good question.
Yeah. But I keep a...
sometimes I do a ceiling fan too.
If I had one, I would definitely turn that on.
Yeah.
But I'd keep like I don't have a fancy bike guard cover.
Yeah.
Sweat guard.
I like how you call them fancy. Mine was like $11 on Amazon.
But it's specific.
Yeah, it is specific. Yeah.
I just keep an exercise towel
that works.
over my handlebars
and
headset, and then toss them in the wash, after it's sweaty.
Yeah.
And then just grab a fresh one for the next ride.
Right.
No,
that's good.
Because I also haven't been doing intense training rides. I'm not training for anything specific, so I'm not really dripping sweat all over my bike. I'm going to protect my grips and headset, but other than that, I'm not.
Right. You're not dripping.
I'm not down there for 3 hours fully soaked through all the time. Every once in a while I get pretty into it, but
and it's easy to get soaked through. It's just
it really is.
Moving in.
Even with the fans on, you get pretty soaked through.
Yeah. All right.
I'm not dripping in that way.
Yeah, you're dripping. I saw you walking here with some DCs.
Some DCs.
Yeah.
Anyway.
All right.
Imagine that. DCs.
You opened the show. Or you want to close it too?
You go for it.
Okay. Well, thank you.
I didn't have anything planned.
Thank you, BSP, for being here, for being my, you mentioned it earlier, but you are my podcasting partner in crime.
Yeah.
You do all the audio editing for the show, and now I get to look you in the eye and thank you. So thank you, Brian.
Thank you.
So yeah, check out all the past episodes of the show. Not you, of course, but the people who are watching.
I will, though. I will.
If you are listening, you can rate and review us on iTunes or Spotify. If you're watching, it helps if you subscribe or thumbs us up there. And head over to www.itsjustahill.com to check out everything else, like our Strava page, our WhatsApp chat, and all that good stuff. And we'll be back again soon for more of the 2024 cycling season. It's going to be exciting. The Olympics are this year too. It's going to be really exciting.
It's Winter Olympics, though, isn't it?
No. Summer Olympics in France, dude.
Oh, I thought for some reason. No, I know we talked about it last time, but I thought it was winter again because I was so amped for winter.
You
Olympics.
love Winter Olympics,
yeah,
and
I do.
Space. I'm learning a lot about you.
Yeah. What else?
Don't love white chocolate, but you're pretty good with it when it's a ghost with Reese's peanut butter.
And that's because it's a very small amount.
Right.
Yeah.
Very into space. Are you into aliens or just like what is real space?
No, learning about real space.
But so do you consider aliens bullshit? Or just like not as interesting as
gosh.
Like, all right, we got to go. Thanks for listening. We're going to save this for next podcast. Time. Yeah, that's for the other podcast. All right. Thank you, Brian.
Thank you, John.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
We are It's Just a Hill, a cycling club that promotes inclusion, judgment-free, with no gatekeepers. Focused on creating content from behind the handlebars to in the studio, It's Just a Hill is producing videos and podcasts to spread the message that cycling is for everyone. We are focused on reminding everyone that riding your bike can help you overcome any obstacle, because after all, it's just a hill.
Decaf left, regular right. Decaf left, regular right. It's very challenging work.